Good morning, everybody. Today we have another lesson with Mr. Morrow Draws. Today you're going to need some material, so please make sure you have a pencil. I have a mechanical pencil, and an eraser would be really good, but you can use a regular pencil as well. Have some sort of straight edge, if you have a ruler, or if not, you can use a book or a piece of wood or anything else. And then optional today are some sort of coloring device, whether it's a highlighter, a crayon, or colored pencil. And then if you want a pen as well, to outline your picture later on, you can get a pen. And then, of course, the most important thing is you're going to need a piece of paper. So get that piece of paper ready to go. So take the next few seconds to get those items. Okay, and here we go. I, of course, am going to be using my handy-dandy tablet so everybody can see what I'm doing. And feel free to take any breaks and pauses you need, so if you need to stop the video at any point, go ahead and pause it so you can catch up with me. Today we are going to be drawing the drum set. Alright, here we go. Now I'm going to cheat again a little bit with my tablet here, so go ahead and pause if you ever need to. I might go too quickly and you can always pause. We're going to start off by making kind of a medium-sized circle, not in the middle, but a little bit lower than the middle of our page. That's going to be the beginning of our bass drum. And from there, what I would do is I would take a straight edge or whatever you have, and we're going to make a line at the very top of our bass drum and at the very bottom of our bass drum. Just like that. Very nice. And then we're going to make a kind of a half circle, a semicircle, connecting these two lines together. And this is kind of just to make it 3D looking. Excellent. Alright, and go ahead and take breaks if you need. Go ahead and pause if you need at any point. Alrighty, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make our snare drum. And in order to make the snare drum, we're going to make a small box kind of to the right here of our bass drum. And this is going to make sure you have an eraser with you, because we're going to be doing a lot of erasing a little bit later on. We're going to be intersecting each of these drums, so it's going to look a little messy at first, but later on we'll erase. So we're going to draw a box right here like that. And see how it's kind of messy here? We'll go back in later on and fix that. Okay, we're going to make this a little bit more 3D looking by adding a small circle underneath, just like that. And then this can't just be supported by itself. There has to be some sort of support beams. So we're going to go down. At the very bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to fork out our supports just like that. And make the middle one just a little bit shorter. Nice work. Okay, to the right of our snare drum, we are going to create our hi-hat. In order to do that, we're going to make a smaller box. Really nice thin box, just like that. And then, at the bottom of it, we're going to flare it out, just like this. And then cap it off. Okay, we're going to make this exact same thing except mirrored right above it. Nice and thin. And then flare it out. And cap it off. Okay, and then we're going to create our support. Just like before. Alrighty, there is our hi-hat. Alright, let's move to the left side a little bit here. We're going to create our first tom. These are a little bit lower drums. So again, we're going to intersect our bass drum just a tiny bit, but we'll fix it later on. So again, we're going to create a box a little bit bigger than the snare drum. I'm going to intersect just a little bit, and that's okay. Alright, to make it 3D, we're going to add just a little loop right here. And this tom is actually going to be connected to the bass drum, so we don't actually have to give it any supports all the way down. We can give it a tiny support, just connecting to the bass drum. Nice. Okay, so just a little bit to the left of the bass drum here, we're going to create a crash cymbal, and it's going to go behind the tom, but for right now we'll go through the tom, and then we'll do a little bit of erasing later on. So at the very top, we're going to create a circle like this, or an oval. And this needs support, so we're going to draw support all the way down, and if you want, you can just skip going through here to make it easier so you don't have to erase later on. And then create your supports. If you're okay with erasing later on, you can go through the tom and erase later on. So I'm just going to do that just so everybody can see. And make your supports at the bottom nice and wide so our cymbal doesn't fall off. Okay, we have the basic structure down. We're going to be adding a little bit of detail, and we're going to be adding, we're going to be erasing a little bit. I forgot one important thing. Drummers always need to be able to sit down when they're playing, so right behind the bass drum we're going to create a chair, or a throne, as many drummers like to call it. In order to make this throne, we're going to create kind of a box, but make it a little bit round. A little bit round box, and it's going to be behind the bass drum. That's why you don't see the whole thing. And then give that chair, that throne, some supports. Very nice job so far. Okay, we're going to start adding a little bit of detail now. And we're also going to do a little bit of erasing. So I'm going to get in a little bit closer so everybody can see, and start erasing, starting with the tom. So the reason we're doing this is because we want the perspective of the cymbal to be behind the rest of the instruments here. And remember, you can always pause if you need to take a little bit more time. Great, now that cymbal looks like it's behind the tom. Alright, I want this tom to be behind the bass drum now, so I'm going to erase anything that's in the bass drum. Perfect. See, now it looks like it's behind the bass drum. Same thing with the snare drum over here. I'm going to erase anything that it's touching in the bass drum. And now the snare drum looks like it's behind the bass drum. Alright, as far as perspective, that's all we need to do for that. Let's add a little bit more detail now. On these supports down here, let's add some feet, just to make it look a little bit more fancy. So with the feet, I just add, kind of looks like a shoe. Just add a little extra at the bottom of each little shoe. And I forgot, the bass drum also has a little bit of support, so we're going to add a little bass drum support here. And these I'm going to make a little bit thicker, just because the bass drum's so big. Alright, you might want to take your ruler or straight edge out. We're going to create some lines on our bass drum, the 3D part right here. All we're going to do is we're going to create lines about ½ an inch apart, going all the way down, and just keep them nice and straight, and it'll kind of give us that 3D look. There we go. Very nice. Okay, let's add a little bit more detail. On the snare drum, we're going to create a tiny little box in the snare drum. Add a little bit of flair to our snare drum. And add a few little dots down here. Same thing with the tom. I'm just going to add 2 little stripes and 2 little holes. Very nice. Oh, I forgot, at the top of our hi-hat, usually the hi-hat stand comes out just a little bit, so you can add that. And then our cymbal, I'm just going to add a few little stripes on it just to make it look a little bit more 3D. And what you can do is from the middle of the cymbal, you can just make a few lines jutting out, just to kind of show the 3D-ness of it. And then on the bass drum, usually there's a hole right at the bottom here. And what that does is it allows the bass drum to resonate and kind of make a bigger sound, an echoey sound. And sometimes that hole has a little bit of a round flare around it too. And there you go. There is our drum set. Very nice work today. And of course, at the end, always make sure you sign, make a good signature of your artwork so everybody knows who drew it. And while we're here, let's just name a few of the parts of the drum set. So on the right side here, we have our hi-hat. Okay, a little bit further in, right here, is our snare drum. Going in a little bit further, but I will draw down here. This is our drum chair, but most people call it a throne. Kind of like what a king or a queen would sit on. In the middle, our large drum there, that is our bass drum. On the left side here, we have our tom. And on the very far left, we have our cymbal, our crash cymbal. And let's get some color in here. You don't have to, but if you have a colored pencil or a highlighter or a pen or a crayon, you're welcome to get some color in your drawing. And of course, I don't really like to keep with the original colors of a drum. Usually drums are, well, actually drums have a lot of different colors, and so we can kind of go with that tradition of creating our own colors. So I'm going to make our bass drum blue, and I'm going to make the back just a little bit darker. I'm going to make our snare drum kind of a pinkish color, and I'm going to make, again, the lower part a little bit darker. Try to show that 3D-ness. Okay, let's make our throne an orange. That's very cool. Now, cymbals are usually yellow, and I'm going to go traditional with that, kind of a gold-yellow color. So I'll make our hi-hat and our crash cymbal yellow. And then we got the tom over here. Let's make that tom a nice dark green. And we'll create a little bit dark green at the bottom portion here. And that's it. Excellent work, everybody. This was the drum set today. Very nice job. And here are a few pictures from last week. Here is a piano that Bella made. Very nice. I like the color. And here is Paxton's piano. Very nice, keeping with the traditional black and white. I hope everybody had a wonderful time drawing our drum set today. And if you'd like to share with me your drawing, you are always welcome to send a picture to me at mrmorrowdraws@gmail.com. Okay, I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. And if you'd like me to share your picture with you next week, go ahead and let me know on your email. You have to let me know or else I can't share it. Okay, have a great week, everybody. See you later.